The factory is treated to the same product development cycle as any product. Design and usability is iteratively added. The factory is the product and evolves over time based on customer feedback.
It's not just about the products. It's the factory's the product, and the factory is also modular, like the product, and the factory is also being built in Agile.
Here is Giga Texas. So this is now the largest manufacturing plant in North America. The picture on the left was taken the day the land was purchased. Now, this is a result of that company culture I talked about, the culture piece. Employees found a good deal on land in Texas and bought it without asking for permission. I know that's insane. This is the largest manufacturing facility in North America. It wasn't bought by Elon Musk. It wasn't bought by Tesla. In the United States, land purchases, real estate, is public record. You can see who bought it and for how much and on what date. And you can see it was a Tesla employee that bought it. It wasn't Musk, it wasn't Tesla. An employee saw there's a good deal on this land right now. I'm going to buy it right now. I think this is a good idea. The digital self-management apps are telling me it's a good idea. I'm making this decision in a group, typically 3, 4, or 5 people. We all agree it looks like a good idea. We instant messaged as many people as we could think would be valuable to ask. They either didn't reply or said, it looks like a good idea. They bought it. The same day the land was cleared and leveled. That same team that made the purchasing decision, while they were negotiating the purchase, they were already booking every contractor at any price in the area that could do clear and leveling. They bought secondhand machinery, started watching YouTube videos on how to operate that secondhand machinery, and bought tickets. The day the land deal closed, a combination of contractors and Tesla employees cleared and leveled the land the same day. 90 days later, you can see the factory fabric. This is a repeating sequence of modules. Now, the supply chains change all the time. We can't get the same alloys of metal and the same lengths and same dimensions. So each of these factory fabric modules can be different alloys, different dimensions, different extrusion profiles. The important part is that they connect, that the interface still mates. Here you can see these factory modules are being kitted, and there's more than one version because there's multiple vendors and Tesla employees, contractors and employees, kitting these factory fabric modules at the same time. So the versions are a mix. There's not even walls on most of this facility yet, but some of these areas have their own electricity. They have their own solar generation already, and they have their own basic water treatment to return certain types of water back to gray water that can be used for planting, like rainwater. What that means is if we zoom in 90 days after the land was bought, we can see the factory modules are already designing and producing car parts. Now, these car parts don't have what's called type certification yet. They're new designs made on new equipment. They're not yet approved for use. Tesla doesn't make just 10 or 100. Tesla immediately enters the production ramp and makes as many as they can while introducing new designs continuously. It's always full speed, always. No other question. Pace of innovation is the only thing that matters in the long run. These parts, if they fail to meet certification test, are recycled. If they don't, they are later put through every certification cycle and are sold. This happened for Giga Berlin. Giga Berlin, while the land was being built, while the land was being cleared, and then the first pieces of machinery were installed, were operating at maximum production volume to the extent they could from the minute those machines were installed. This created thousands of cars that could not be sold. They were built before the building was permitted. After the building finally received its permit, those cars went back through road legal testing. And for the first time in German and EU history, cars built before the building was permitted and before type certification had been given were allowed for sale. They all passed the test. They were all sold. I believe it was 6,000 Tesla Model Ys. The factory is treated to the same product development cycle as any product. Design and usability is iteratively added. So there's no master plan of where these factories go or even what their shape is. The factory is the product and evolves over time based on customer feedback. We build the factories based on where we test. We co-locate design, test, and production. It's the same building. There's not a separate beautiful building for decisions to be made and another building for software to be designed and written and another building for production. It's one building. Everyone's in the same building. This creates the sense of shared understanding and reduces the need for presentations or PowerPoints or meetings. Testing is automated for speed and repeatability, like this SpaceX rocket launch. That's what we would call an iteration review or a sprint. And the testing happens at the same point as design and production. So you have a fast feedback loop. Simply a truck or a carrying vehicle stands up a new test flight article, test fires it or launches it straight from the bay where it was designed and manufactured. They're as close together as physically possible. So in less than an hour, hopefully you can stand up a new rocket. And multiple times a minute, you have slightly different versions, tweaks to existing Tesla product designs. Thank you so much, SOLJIT. Thank you so much, everyone,